Let's get right into it, folks. A massive legal showdown just went down between the Trump administration and Harvard University, and it all ended with a bombshell court ruling. So what was this whole fight about, and what does this decision actually mean? We are breaking it all down right now. But first, you know what to do. If you want the fastest, sharpest explainers on the internet, you gotta smash that subscribe button and ding that notification bell. Let's do this. And we are starting with the results because, wow, is it a big one. A federal judge just delivered a total knockout blow, siding with Harvard and shutting down the Trump administration's big moves against the university. So how in the world did we get here? Okay, let's hit rewind for a second. What was this fight even about? I mean, why did the US government and one of the most famous universities on the planet end up in this crazy, high-stakes legal war? Well, the whole thing kicked off when the Trump administration pointed the finger at Harvard. They accused the university of not properly handling campus protests about Israel's actions in Gaza, saying it was leaving Jewish students vulnerable and that antisemitism was just running wild. So it really boiled down to two totally opposite views. You had the administration saying, hey, Harvard, you're failing to protect your students from harassment. And then you had Harvard firing back saying, whoa, you're way overstepping. You don't get to control what a private university does. And from that point on, things got ugly really fast. The administration started making some serious threats, and Harvard's response was to take them to court. Let's look at the play-by-play. So the administration's first big shot across the bow? It involved money, a ton of money. We're talking $2 billion. That's right, they put a freeze on over $2 billion in federal research grants that were supposed to go to the university. I mean, that's a move that's designed to cause some serious pain, threatening literally decades of scientific research. Oh, but they didn't stop there. Not even close. The administration also threatened to mess with Harvard's admissions policies, go after their super valuable tax-exempt status, and even kick out their international students by revoking their visas. This was a full-on pressure campaign. But Harvard, well, they weren't backing down. The university's president, Alan Garber, basically came out and said, not on our watch. He made it super clear. No government, no matter who's in charge, gets to be the boss of what's taught in their classrooms. And their next move? It was a big one. Instead of trying to negotiate, Harvard took the fight straight to the courts. They filed a lawsuit, and they didn't mince words, calling the administration's actions the stuff of tyranny. All right, so this is where it all comes to a head. The case lands in the courtroom of U.S. District Judge Allison Burroughs. The lawyers make their arguments, the evidence is all laid out, and now it's decision time. And her ruling was, well, crystal clear. She found the administration's moves to be unconstitutional. Now, what does that actually mean? In plain English, the judge looked at everything the government did and said, nope, you don't have the power to do this. It's against the rules of the country. So why exactly was it unconstitutional? Well, the judge gave three big reasons. First, she called it illegal retaliation, basically punishing the university for speech the administration didn't like. She also said it was putting unconstitutional conditions on their funding, trying to force Harvard to give up its rights. Long story short, the judge said this was a targeted attack for political reasons. And then, in maybe the most powerful line from the entire ruling, the judge wrote that the administration used antisemitism as a smokescreen for a targeted, ideologically motivated assault. Wow. So Harvard wins this round, gets the big victory, but is the fight actually over? Yeah, not by a long shot. The administration's reaction told us everything we need to know. This is definitely heading for an appeal. Right after the ruling dropped, the two sides had, let's just say, very different reactions. The White House called the decision egregious and swore they'd appeal immediately. Meanwhile, Harvard was celebrating it as a huge win for the First Amendment and academic freedom. And the White House spokesperson, Liz Houston, she did not hold back. She basically claimed the outcome was a sure thing, calling Judge Burroughs an activist Obama-appointed judge who was always going to rule in Harvard's favor, regardless of the facts. So this battle is heading to an appeals court. It is crystal clear that neither side is giving an inch. The big question now is, what happens next? Who do you think has the stronger case for round two? I really want to know what you think. Who's going to win the appeal? Drop your predictions down in the comments.
And hey, if you dug this explainer, do me a favor and hit like and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.